Hello everyone, Mark Abbott from your Engineering Change Lab Secretariat here. In this, the fourth of 4 videos, we're going to talk about our work in the Engineering Change Lab, our work together in unlocking the higher potential of the engineering profession in Canada. In our second video, we talked about shared synthesis of the deepened shared understanding, the latest synthesis. In our third video, we talked about extensions and refinements to our approach, working together in the lab. And in this, our fourth video, we're going to talk about implications of all of this thinking to you as an individual, to the initiative teams, and to the overall lab. So in terms of our approach, I'm not going to pretend that this was pre-planned. We actually ran out of space and put it back up on top here. But basically, we're going to go through each of the elements of the approach and talk a little bit more tangibly about different ways you can get involved. Because one of the reasons that we're really excited about this extension and refinement of our approach is that we think it's going to give you as individuals opportunities to optimize and customize your contribution to the lab in really powerful ways. So what I want to do now is just kind of share with you some examples of what some of the extended activities in the areas might look like. So these aren't a definitive list of what we're going to prioritize next. They're just to give you a sense of what the extended work would look like. So in the deep and shared understanding space, we could be doing things like theory of change mapping, white papers, workshops, wikis, book sprints. These are all ways to create a more tangible connection and way of thinking about the big level change and how it connects through the subsystems and how initiatives fit in so that it can actually shape our initiatives but also drive change through dialogue in the broader system and get other sort of changes going. On the relationship side, looking at ways where you can foster dialogue and share thinking from the lab and connect new people into the lab's movement. So this could look like seeking conversations with influencers or other people in your network, or bringing content from the lab to groups and workshops or in other formats. On the new ways of working together extension, it could look like introducing new tools in your own organization or actually finding opportunities to introduce tools into your networks so that more people are getting used to these powerful ways of working in a context of complexity. And on the initiatives themselves, it can look like basically fitting your initiatives into the broader thinking to provide an increased sort of imperative or context for why these initiatives are connected and all part of a bigger whole. And then from that, sharpening the initiatives based on the overall thinking of the lab. And as a group, we can attract new entrepreneurs and initiatives to the work together in the lab. So something that's important in this is, as we develop kind of new archetypes of contribution, is we want to be really careful not to silo into different groups here. The way we're seeing it is just kind of different distributions of how people are contributing along these different lines that fit with their experience and interest. But we really want to make sure that we're progressing as a cohesive core lab group, just with a more optimized and robust approach to our change, which is in line with what we are learning and believing is required to unlock this potential more understanding. So that's on the individual level, and at the next workshop, there's going to be opportunities in the agenda to kind of select and optimize for some of these new functions and explore them together. In terms of the initiatives themselves, we've been through the initiative list, and we believe that they're all pointed in the right direction and are and on to exciting ideas. And so really, it's just a matter of starting to incorporate this big level thinking, connect to it, and to continue and sharpen and work on the initiatives that are already going. And then again, as we were talking about, to look at opportunities to attract new entrepreneurs and initiatives to the space. For the overall lab, what the work over the next period looks like is around thinking about how we support this extended and revised approach. So how do we resource it? What are the tools and frameworks? How can we support lab participants in actually progressing in these new ways? So really exciting implications in these next areas. In terms of next steps, this is a lot of information. Again, this is an experiment and us sharing it in between workshops. And it is put out there as a synthesis for you to engage with. So if you have feedback or ideas between now and the next workshop, please email me and reach out so that we can incorporate it into the evolving work. Also start thinking a little bit about how you might want to optimize your own contribution, where your interests are and where you think you are best able to contribute. And then in this idea of shifting to a movement building lens, start giving some thought to who are the individuals and organizations we need to start engaging more directly in this work. So in these 4 videos, we've shared quite a lot. And I was excited to try this video approach and to get this out there because I think what's represented in these videos, I believe, are some powerful next evolutions in our thinking of the problem and what it's going to take to align it and how we can approach it. So I'm really excited to continue building on all of this with you in the workshops, or between now and the workshop if you'd like to reach out. So thank you, and we'll see you in Montreal in mid-May.